After acquiring Berlin, my WRX hatch, I spent most of my time working on that car.
Leaving El Professor, my 2019 STi, a little neglected.
But today, that's gonna change.
And that's because I've arguably found the best full body aero kit for the STi, and they say it's indestructible. Normally I would do this in my garage with my quick jacks. It'd be enough space to get underneath, but because we're entirely under the car again today, I am heading out to Hoist House. So I have a front splitter, side skirts, and a diffuser. I was gonna run the lip with the splitter, but there's a reason why I'm not doing that, and you're gonna see in just a second. So I brought Gene out today. He's basically gonna help me get everything up. I'm not gonna be able to get the splitter up by myself, so extra pair of hands gonna help, and I'm gonna put him to work basically. This thing is dusted. So this is why I'm not going to run the splitter and the lip. So I hit a massive pothole and I didn't see it. There was nothing I could do, and it pretty much toasted this thing. So nothing I can do.
All due to bad driving.
Before we install the splitter, we did need to remove the JNA V-style side skirts and the rear spats.
This bottom one, but I can't get to the top one.
All right.
I just want to make sure all of it comes with it.
Yeah.
It's going slowly.
Yeah. This is the Infamous Aero front splitter. So it is made of a high density polyethylene. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. It's proprietary material that they have. So they say it won't crack, especially like in the winters or you hit something, it will not crack or break. So they do back it up with a warranty if it does crack or break. So that's something that I really liked about this, is just being able to say like, hey, if it cracks, then I know it can be replaced. Front splitter does utilize OEM mounting holes. So it comes with some bolts, and on the back sides where the wheels are, those are gonna be 2 bolts where I mount up the sides. And then from there, I'll just go all the way around the front and I'll be able to drill some holes through it and then bolt it all up.
We started out by doing a test fitting, and of course, once we got it bolted up, we found out there was a small issue we needed to address.
Take yours back out.
Take my mag out?
Yeah, like halfway.
Oh.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. So it actually utilizes 4 OEM points, so the 2 sides and these 2 fronts. So we'll tighten all these down, lower it, see how it looks, make sure it's all aligned. And then from there, it's just 2 more that we can bolt up and we should be good.
Yeah, it looks pretty straight on this side.
So when I took the lip off and I pulled out the self-tappers, the plastic, I mean, it's kind of like extruded out a little bit, so I can't actually, it's not actually fitting up flush. So I need to actually take this down or like loosen it up, and I need to use a razor blade to get up underneath there and cut out that plastic so the splitter will fit flush up against the bumper. We removed the splitter, we got rid of all of the plastic using a razor blade, and it's definitely more flush. And then we lowered it, bolted it back up, made sure it was all aligned. But now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 more holes to drill that aren't factory holes. So once we drill those out, we'll bolt it up and we're pretty much done with the install on the splitter.
Because the splitter used 4 OEM mounting points, drilling the other holes was super easy because all we needed to do was bolt it down, drill those holes, and then place bolts in them.
Now on to the side skirts. The side skirts are also made out of the same material of the front splitter, so they also are claimed as indestructible. So if they do crack or break, they are covered under warranty by them. So same material, look just as good. And these actually go in with self-tappers, so there's no bolts. You just gotta line it up and pretty much self-tap it in. What I love about the side skirts is that these 2 slots, which basically line up directly to the body, like this little flap, little indent here, also to the front. So you know which side is the rear and you know which side is the front. In the package, the kit comes with these little badges. And so I realized on the other side, the width that we let it stick out was about the length of this badge. So to align it up, we basically just use the badge as how far it comes out, and we have everything perfectly aligned. Something they do mention in the instructions is to go from one end all the way down so you don't have any gaps and you don't have any warping. Now, we were careful when we did this. We didn't have an issue with the other side, but there is a little bit of a gap. I couldn't get the screws underneath this post right here, so we're gonna lower the car back down later and try to fix that. But for now, onto the diffuser. The diffuser comes in 3 different pieces. You have a center piece and you have the 2 sides. Now, these pieces are adjustable, so that way you can adjust it for the exhaust. It's a different material than the front splitter and side skirts. It is a thermoplastic ABS, high gloss, just like everything else. It doesn't come with any mounting holes, so we're gonna have to align it, drill the holes, and then mount it up. It's gonna be tricky, but I'm sure we can figure it out.
I'd put it like on the edge of the white part if you can.
So we'll probably just have to tape it up, and then we can drill the holes. These come down farther than I really want them, and there's like a little bit of gap, so I think the sides aren't really gonna work. I could cut the bottom of this off, but for now I'm just gonna remove them and make sure everything is flush as possible. Okay.
So these are your points. Drill a hole in the end of these to where we want it to be.
Okay.
And then if he has like one of those paint things, we'll just go through the hole, like line this up and then like tap it.
We've been trying to get the center portion of the diffuser lined up. We've tried multiple different variations, so we actually have to drill the holes through the bumper first. So we're doing it like in the first fin on each side and then just going 1 fin in. So basically the mounting points are on the fins. It doesn't extend all the way to the edge. And so we have to figure out a way to mark the diffuser from the inside and then drill the holes through the diffuser, and then we can mount it up. So we marked the holes with this 90-degree pick, and then we added some paint to where those little tiny dots are. So we'll drill in with a small drill bit, then we'll go larger, mount it up, and fingers crossed it's straight. We got it mounted up with the bolts now. Our alignment was pretty much spot on, so just take your time, be careful with it, make sure you tape it up. Having 2 people is gonna make all the difference. If I didn't have Gene here, it basically would be almost impossible to get this thing mounted up by myself. And then also, if you have dual exit exhaust, it's not gonna be easy to get underneath here. There's no space in here, so I can actually move around. This is a pain in the ass.
Kind of. There's a whole exhaust in my face.
So you're gonna wanna have to probably remove that portion of the exhaust if you're doing this. We're gonna get this thing fully bolted on and then start getting the other side sections mounted up. This thing is not coming off, it's extremely solid. So the spacer that connects the middle piece to the side piece, it's not attached, so that way you can adjust it for the height of your exhaust. And we have the big, massive exhaust, so we're just gonna align it to the bottom, mark it up, drill holes, and we're good to go. So we've got the connecting piece in the middle and we've got the side piece. Now, this was a lot more difficult than I thought. Trying to get underneath there and get the bolt up in and the nut in there. And also just aligning it to get the drill holes right. So we didn't put all 3. It says to put 3 bolts in there. We just put 2 for the time being. It is still sturdy. So I can even see I marked the circles. We've got the diffuser finally fully installed and it looks absolutely amazing, but I do have a couple other things. I do have some splitter rods I'm gonna toss on the front end. For the splitter rods, I went with the Aeroflow Dynamic 8 to 10 inch and I did get them in black. I'm not sure if I actually gonna like the black. I thought I was gonna like because I have a lot of black and white going on, but I'm not sure you'll see them as much, so I think I should have went with silver, but we'll see how they turn out. There was also a little bit of a quality control issue with the black. It looks like it's peeling in some areas and it just doesn't look like it's, you know, like high quality. I don't like that it peels. And it has some, you know, scratches on it. It is what it is for now. We're gonna drill up the mounting points, and if I need to swap them later, it's an easy swap. Of course, something that I thought was going to be easy actually wasn't, so I can't get the nut on the top, so I had to undo the bumper on the top and undo the bumper on the sides. Then I was able to pull it back far enough to just get my hand all the way down in there and then tighten down the nut on the top. So I'm gonna drill the other one and get the nut in there, and then I'll be able to put the bumper back. For the placement of the top of the splitter rods, I had a reference point of directly in the middle between this slot and the side. So just directly in the middle, I knew exactly where to drill. In terms of mounting the splitter rods, this is a public service announcement. You should not mount these to the bumper. They actually should be mounted to the crash bar. I'm just doing this for the sake of time and because I'm gonna be going out of town for a show and everything and I want the splitter rods on, but I'm gonna come back and probably put them to the crash bar, but do not mount them to the bumper.
Even without the front lip, the splitter gives the car a clean, sharp look, and I think the splitter rods were the right choice. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. The diffuser adds a more aggressive rear end, and even though we had to manually drill out the holes for the diffuser, it looks more intimidating than it really is. The links are down below in the description, and if you use the code NOLAN10, you get 10% off your order at Infamous Aero. And don't forget to subscribe.